Hi everybody, this is Jack and I'm working in a house that's got some age to it. I think it was built somewhere in the early 1900s, and I'm in an attic space right now that was finished off, and to be honest with you, I think they might have not reinforced the floor because the floors have got about a 3/4 of an inch sag over all their span, quite a lot. But that's just part of the symptoms of working with old houses. They hired me to put in a set of bypass doors in each of these two openings here. And with the floor, the top is also sagging about 3/4 of an inch in the middle. I put a laser level up before I gave them a price just to make sure I was going to give them a price accurately on what I needed to do. And I got the laser level set up again so I can measure the lengths of the legs so I can get those discrepancies with the floor and get them jotted down so I can take them down to my saw and cut up the legs and the heads so I can set them in place. I'm going to start with the head first. That's going to run full all the way through on both of them. And this opening over here is 2 inches larger than this opening over here. But I'm going to make both of them the same. So I'm going to have to add a little bit of framing on the one side over here where the jamb is very small. And by adding a piece of framing here, I'll have a little bit of more space to add some trim to here without it engaging the wall so much. So that's the plan for that. Pardon the tilted camera here. But I'm going to go ahead and start the laser level, get that pointer going, and show you just what is going on here. I don't know if you can see it, but I got the laser level here. It's a green line. And this laser level is also set to the bottom of the jamb at the head. I got 3/4 of an inch plus here, so I can set the jamb right up, the head of the jamb right up tight to the bottom of this, and that'll give me my leg length automatically, and also a way to set my head in level with all the various shims that I need to add. There's an 1 3/16 drop in this floor from left to right, and I'll make the doors work. They'll have a bit of a gap at the bottom, but the homeowner's already expecting that. I advised them already what to expect because the floors are in the condition that they are. I have these written down. I'm going to take my list and cut up everything that I need because on top of that, this is on the second floor, so there's going to be a lot of up and down. I have protection on the floors, a plastic that keeps the dirt from getting into the floor that I'm going to be taking from inside outside. Thankfully, it's a sunny day, so I won't be really, and it's a dry day, so I won't be dragging stuff in as a rule, but the homeowner was very, very concerned about the condition of the floors, that they'd be treated right, so I did this for her. Onward to the cut. Got my piece cut here for the filler that I'm going to put on this one side where I want to get that trim away from the wall. I'm going to put it in place right over top of the drywall. Being it's a bypass door and I don't have to worry about hinges hanging off of it, I'm not going to worry about the strength of this. It's just going to be filler to make it simple to add the vertical jamb piece that goes up against this. Again, if it was a hinge door, it would be a different situation. When I went to get my battery replaced from my drill here, my impact driver, I seen that I needed to get 1.25 inches worth of shims up here on this one high side. So between that and some 2.5 inch screws, I'm going to get this shim down to within 3/4 of an inch of this laser level that I have there, so I can get that head placed and get that started leveled in. This will let me get my heads put in place with a couple of 2.5 inch 15 gauge nails with this. All right, I got the legs ready to go too. Actually, I need to put a boatload of shims behind this one still. I got about 3/4 of an inch of shims that I got to put in there. It's a small room where I'm at, so I'm setting the camera back farther so I don't have to turn the head all the time. But I'm going to start leveling in to the laser line and put some shims over top of this along with blocks of wood to help put this thing in place where it needs to be at. And I'm going to use some screws in the head where the track of the door is going to conceal the screw heads, but I'm going to laminate all that up with some 3-inch screws up into that header piece, up into that beam that's holding up the roof in this area, even though it's sagging down 3/4 of an inch. So much better. Just to give a little filler on what I've been doing here. I got the head screwed in place, secure, level, straight. Ready for the head, the track to go in. But the track comes in 6-foot lengths, and these are approximately a 69-inch long opening. The thing is that because the jambs, the original walls are not plumb, I have to shim at least one side of the jamb plumb where I have to shim it at the top. Because if I cut the tracks to the length just the way they are, and then I still have to level them, well, I won't be able to because the track is not going to let it. So the one side that I shimmed over here and this one here, I'm getting that in level because that's shortening up the length of the track for to hang the doors. The other side that I haven't done yet, those are level, need to be leveled from the bottom to the top. So the top is not going to change on this right hand side of this left hand opening or on the other side over here. And I still got to check that too, because these buildings can be crazy when you're talking about a building this old. But that's what I'm doing here, because what I want to do is get the length of the track set, put it in place, hang the doors, and use the doors as my straight edge, because if I can get one side of the door to set plumb on this side and I roll it over to the other side and the head's level, I can actually use the door as my level rather than all this trial and error with the level stuff. I can just simply shim right to the door and it's good. And that's the whole idea, is to get this door to meet jambs perfectly. So that's what's been happening. I've been getting the track mounted here. I thought I was recording, but when I turned around the screen was blank, so evidently you missed the part of the putting the head tracks in, but it really is pretty simple. It's just setting them in place on the marks. And I wasn't crazy about the 7/8 of an inch margin setback, but like I was mentioning beforehand, maybe though it didn't take, that I wasn't crazy about the setback, but these people have their way of doing things and they have most likely good reason for it. So I'm setting it back like they recommend. I'm just finishing off the screws now. I'm going to refer to the install guide to figure out which rollers go on which door, because they have offsets. And this is out of the same pack of hinges. I got hinges on my mind somehow. And these are out of the same thing. So one of these are going to go on. I'm thinking that this is the one that goes on the door or the rear track, and this is the one that goes on the front track. I haven't seen nothing in the instructions yet about which of the two, but that's my guess. I got to make sure that's proper. Is that I have a left-hand door and I have a right-hand door called the holes for the pulls already drilled, and that sets the left and right hand. This is what I got. This door is going to be on the front roller, and the other door is going to be on the rear roller. And the reason why that is that when you walk into a room, you don't necessarily want to look at the butt edge of a door when you're walking up on it. You want to be able to see over the butt edge of the first, in this case, the first door. So you're looking onto the panel of the second door. If I had it the other way around, to where this door was on the front track, then you'd be looking at that when you walk into the room. And I prefer that it looks like that when you walk into a room. So that's what I'm setting up for now, making sure I have the right rollers in the right spots. All right, I gave a correct guess. It is the small ones, the short offset that goes on the forward door. There is writing in there. I'm back to problems with the microphone. I just bought this, actually a very nice microphone, very well reputed, but for some reason I can't get it to pair with the lapel mic and its transmitter. Anyway, because of that I get into other things, and I already got the balances in, but very simple install. I just ripped this down to cover just barely to the top of the doors that you can see here, and it's wound up being 1 3/8 inches. I could have covered a little bit more. That's what I showed in the picture, about 1.5 inches instead of the 1 3/8 inches. But I wanted to make sure that these doors would not be interfered with when they had to be taken out again, even just for painting, you know. So I got the bottom guides in. That was a very straightforward thing. You just punch screws, but when you're going through carpet, it's always good to not run the screws in like you're trying to drive them. Put the screws in, put the drill in reverse, and get the screw threads to push through the carpet fiber without grabbing the carpet fiber, especially when you're dealing with a Berber carpet like this, because you pull one string and it'll just make a zip line coming off through the run of the carpet and it'll really look ugly. So reverse the drill and get it to go through the carpet, and then put it on forward to get it to go down through the wood floor is your best bet for that. I still have yet to do the shimming on these sides. The other sides where they need to be plumbed at are done well. So I'm going to go ahead and shim these and get this ready for the trim to go on. Because now I'm going to bring the trim down to cover this valance up to the point where I have a reveal there, just like I'm going to have it on the sides of the jamb, that 1/4 inch reveal, that margin there. Same thing at the door head. So the trim will be here, not up here. I'm going to put the pulls on the doors also, just to get these small parts out of the way. Speaking of small parts, these are the nails that hold the pulls in, and trying to get your finger inside that cup and doing that is a trick. I use it instead of needle nose pliers. That's what I've done in the past. But I'm also going to try a magnet with a nail set, because it takes a nail set to finish these off anyway. But if I can get the nail to stick to the nail set with a magnet, then that might do everything I need to do without having to. I want to try that. Oh wow. Well, I guess that idea is out, because these are evidently stainless steel nails. They are not sticking to the magnet, so needle nose pliers I have. What I'm going to do is take the pliers and just literally push it. I got it set near crosswise, so I can just hold it at a 90, so to speak. I'm going to try to just simply push them in. And I got that one in about halfway. That I can finish with a nail set. that went very well. Don't know if I showed you close up enough to do that, but that's what I'm doing. I'm putting the nail in there like that and simply pressing it, just literally just pushing it right into the side of the door for to hold the cup in. And this is the cup. It's not very deep, and you can see one of the holes right there on the other side right there, and that's what I'm shooting for, and a slight angle to help draw it in so it goes tighter than what it would otherwise be. And like I mentioned before, now I can cut the true length of the trim, not what I thought it was going to be at first, after I measure it. Okay, I'm going to cut up some trim. I'm getting the trim on now. I've already made my list of cuts, and I took them down there and cut them all up at the same time. I'm expecting to have some that will need to be recut, but I can do 2 or 3 pieces in the recuts and hopefully still save some trips over doing it one at a time. Okay, last piece needs a little, I actually measured it too long. And I still got to bring up that orange nail gun. Alright, although it wasn't a whole lot to look at, I'm done with this. I got some of the joints that I wasn't crazy about filled in. They were really hairline cracks, but I really try to get them really tight. It's paint grade and up on the 2nd floor, so I was glad the cuts were as good as they were, but again, I still didn't want to leave them like that. I've seen a lot worse. I mean, a lot worse in homes. Anyway, sorry about the video issues and all that crap that goes on with my equipment. It's just like I'm frustrated because I'm trying to do good and it's a fight. Anyway, folks, if you can find your way to like this stuff that I put on. And look at all the lights are just yanking around. The camera's really not liking the lighting in here. Anyway, maybe I can do it better like this. But if you like what you see, even though it's got its trials and tribulations, maybe even I can make you smile every once in a while. Look at the way that light's going off and on. Anyway, hopefully that's not the camera doing that. If it is, that's kind of bad because I just got another camera. Anyway, please like and subscribe. Appreciate it, man. God bless y'all. Bye-bye.